morning, it's Barbara. It's bright and sunny out. I guess I'm going to go out even though it's hot and muggy. But I haven't vlogged outside for a few days, so I guess I will. I want to wish everyone a happy 4th of July, and those in the United States, happy Independence Day, and to my sweetie, happy anniversary. 31 years ago today, we looked like that. Pretty crazy. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Today, so last year on our anniversary, I went to the fish store to get us all different kinds of fishes to have like this really fancy, I think I got lobster and stuff. Really fancy for our anniversary. And that's when I had my accident on my way home. So I told Dennis I was thinking about going to the fish store. He says, well, take the dog car. I might just do that. So yeah, so my accident was a year ago today. Anyway, so I might be having oysters for dinner and who knows what else, whatever suits my fancy when I get to the fish store. Dennis like, just see what's on special. I shall see. So yesterday I was a spinning fool. I finished spinning that roving that I showed you. I had a big pile of roving that had been attached to my wheel forever. And so I finished spinning that. I must have been at my spinning wheel at least 3 hours yesterday, maybe 4. It was very interesting. And I woke up today saying, oh, I should go down and spin and watch the Tour de France. Apparently I said I was watching the Tour de Fleece. I wasn't watching the Tour de Fleece. I was participating in the Tour de Fleece, watching the Tour de France. But then I was tired and I didn't want to get up, and Dennis brought me a coffee, and so I haven't watched it yet. But if I wait a little while, then I can watch the rerun. I subscribed to Peacock. I did watch it for a little while yesterday, and then Dennis came down. And so I stopped watching it because he doesn't want to watch it. And it annoys him when things like that are on the television. So I should get earphones and just play it on my laptop while I'm spinning. I might do that so that I don't disturb anybody else. So I had emptied one bobbin onto a toilet paper roll. I told you that. But I had 2 bobbins upstairs of the same, bare color. And neither of them were completely full. And I thought if I ply those, I would free up 2 bobbins instead of just the one. And so I did that. So this is plied, and to tell you the truth, I should have texted Simona and said, Simona, just remind me, am I doing it right? Because I'm spinning my wheel clockwise for my singles and counterclockwise for my plying. I hope that's what I was supposed to do, because that's what I did. Now, it won't matter going forward because I'll do that and it'll be fine. But my problem is that if that's not typical, I probably wasn't doing that 4 years ago. Or whenever it was I made those singles. So anyway, I might have just unraveled my singles. But this is my plied. It's got a little something going on. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure what I'll do. Also, the one bobbin, of course, as always, had more single on it than the other one did. And so I grabbed the yarn I just finished and plied it with that yarn. And I don't think they were the same because the yarn I was doing yesterday was quite fuzzy. And the yarn on those bobbins was relatively smooth. So I have some part of this that is not plied one of the plies changed, I'm pretty sure. I don't care. So I'm going to get my nitty knotty out and empty that bobbin, and then I'll have 3 bobbins, which will be more than enough for me to do my loop bump. So there you go, which I'm going to start today. It's funny because I was laying there thinking, I should get up and spin and watch but I was tired, and then Dennis brought me coffee, and I'm like, no, I'm going to have a leisurely start to my morning, and I will spin later, and I have podcasts to watch. I can put those on. They don't annoy Dennis, so I can spin to watching my friends. That's fun. I might get more podcast watches in now that I have my spinning wheel downstairs. So we shall see. So yesterday, the other thing that we did was we cleared out the refrigerator. Our new refrigerator is supposed to come tomorrow. So we cleared out the refrigerator part, all except the cheese drawer. I can never find anything in that cheese drawer. It's got so many different kinds of cheeses. Dennis does a lot of cooking with cheese. Or he has cheese that are his particular ones he likes the best and are hard to keep a supply of. So he doesn't feed his mother his cheese. He has his cheese, she has her cheese, and I have my cheese. So we have a lot of cheeses. And then we have, of course, like the Romano and the dog cheese, because we use Velveeta to feed the pills to the dogs. Anyway, our cheese drawer is a mess, so we did not go through that. But when we completely clear out the refrigerator tomorrow to empty it so it can be moved, we will do the cheese drawer tomorrow. But meanwhile, we recycled a lot of stuff. We washed a lot of bottles. We threw a lot of stuff away. We have a tendency to collect things. So, in our fridge. So it's nice to have it, gone through and like, yeah, we're keeping this. It's, and we're never going to have that. So let's get rid of it. Or this is too green. I don't even know what it was. That kind of thing. So we did that. Today we're doing the top of the refrigerator. And I don't know what else. Top of the refrigerator. And the outside. But the outside isn't terrible because the one we have now, the front isn't magnetic, so you can't stick pictures on it. We have a couple pictures. We have used tape from the granddaughters. But there are lots of magnets on the sides with, business cards and things like that. So I guess we're doing the sides and the top, but I'm not sure what else. We've been trying to eat out of the freezer, although today I don't think we're eating out of the freezer. I think I'm going to go to the fish store again. Try my luck with the fish store. We've got a butterfly flying around. Anyway, so that's where we are. I'm planning to do some spinning and refrigerator. Take everything off the top of the refrigerator and wash it because it's yucky. And, that greasy dust that you get because we haven't taken things. And it'll be good to, take everything off the refrigerator just to see what the heck is up there because I can't see half of it. The other thing we're going to do is actually open those cupboards that are on top of the refrigerator because we can't open them. Well, you can't reach them, for one thing. But you can't open them because of all the stuff that's on top of the refrigerator. I mean, I store my crackers and my biscotti on top of the refrigerator. Dennis has stuff up there he cleans the stovetop with, so. Anyway, you can't open the doors, even if you could get to them, which are, you need a step stool. So we're going to open them and see what's in there, because I don't even know what's in there. I'm sure it's long-term, maybe some, I wouldn't be shocked to find some wedding presents in there. Oh, it'll be like our anniversary. We'll get our wedding presents. you know, who knows what we're going to find. It's obviously stuff we haven't used in a very long time. So it'll be a bit of an adventure. So I'm doing a refrigerator adventure today. I'm going to cross my fingers and go to the fish store for dinner and spin. Maybe watch some podcasts, maybe watch some Tour de France. I was going to say Tour de Fleece again. Danielle texted me, you know, you said Tour de Fleece you were watching. I'm like, well, yeah, you know. Oh, well. So the Tour de Fleece, for those of you who are not spinners, and maybe I said this yesterday, but basically takes place on every day they ride their bikes on the Tour de France. And some people make it a whole big competition, and they have teams, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But when I very first started spinning, I participated in Tour de Fleece at a thread, and I can't even remember what it was called now. Fiberista. I participated in a yarn box where it was a subscription, Fiberista Fibers or something like that, and it was based out of a small shop in Illinois somewhere, I think. He ended up getting into a lot of big trouble because he was like giving out patterns without permission, essentially, to his subscribers to go with his fiber. But anyway, he had a fiber side and he had a yarn side. And I was part of the fiber side because I had just started spinning. In fact, I think it was participating, getting the yarn side of the Fiberista fibers and being on their threads and listening to them talk about what they were giving, and the fiber was so beautiful that it made me want to learn how to spin. And I'm pretty sure that's when I started spinning, was when I was a member of this Fiberista Files. And so they had a fiber side, so I joined that fiber side. And I participated in the Tour de Fleece as part of that group on Fiberista Files. And you posted pictures of your yarns as you made them. And I was spinning using a drop spindle at that time. And I made some beautiful yarns with my drop spindle. Oh, I can hear the hummingbird. And I won a prize. And it was just picked from the pictures on the thread. It wasn't anything about, you know, judges or anything like that. It was just random. But anyway, I won 300 grams of cashmere fiber. I have 300 grams of cashmere fiber. I still have 300 grams of cashmere fiber. I never spun any part of that fiber. But that was my prize. Yeah, and the Fiberista Files got into big trouble later, and he turned out to be, I don't think he was a scammer. I think he just was naive and got in over his head. You know, because you got to produce when you have a subscription thing, you know. So he got into some trouble and it went bust. But it got me spinning, and I have 300 grams of cashmere fiber in my cupboard. Someday I'll probably just give it away. Give it to somebody who could really use it, you know, do justice to it. But meanwhile, I can have it and I can cuddle it. Anyway, I'm feeling good. I've spun a lot yesterday. I took my tape off my arm. I think I told you that yesterday. And my arm is fine. I don't have any, but I left it off. I was afraid I was having a reaction because I had a little bit of a reaction the first day. But it was fine, and I decided to leave it off and let my skin rest. And I was thinking about having Dennis put it back on last night before I went to bed. But I slept last night okay, and my arm was okay. So I think, but I can tell the difference. I could tell the difference last night for sure. So I'm going to play it by ear today and leave my skin open and fresh for as long as possible. But I am going to be using that tape again, KT tape. It really, I think it's very supportive, and it really helped my arm. So if my skin can tolerate it for long times, I'm going to keep using it. And yeah. So anyway, that's the latest update. So I'm going to go and I'm going to start my loop bump. And I will show you my progress tomorrow. Assuming, of course, I have any progress. Assuming, of course, I do that. You know, it wouldn't be the first time I said I'm going to do something and then I didn't. But anyway, happy Independence Day for those who celebrate. Happy the worst day of the year for the Dog's Day because, of course, fireworks. Pearl's Thundershirt seems to be helping her, and she has done really well. She hasn't peed on the floor. We haven't actually tested it with thunder yet, but we've had a lot of firecrackers and things, and she seems to be doing okay. Although that's a whole different kind of sound. You know, the thunder like has a deep bass rumble in your body that makes her afraid, as opposed to fireworks, which are a little more like startling. So, right, puppy? Right? Yeah? There's my pearly girl. Pearl sighting. All right, I'm gonna go. Too much talking, not enough spinning. I might just sit and spin and talk to you tomorrow. A lot of people who podcast, you know, are like knitting or crocheting while they're talking, you know. In their vlogs, Leslie's always doing something in her vlog. She's always knitting or crocheting. I could do that maybe, although maybe not. We'll see. Meanwhile, please take good care of yourselves. Please, please stay safe and stay sane.